Page 8, so long ago. I'm going to go through my routine for learning a new piece of music, and you can follow along if you choose to. This is pretty straightforward. It has a few accidentals thrown in there just for fun. So I'll look it over. It's 2 pages long. Treble and bass clef. 1 sharp in the key signature. We're in the key of G major. Make sure you can do the G major scale and the E minor scale, because those have 1 sharp in it. 2 octaves up and down at least. I have playlists on those and the arpeggios too if you want. The links are in the description. You can just bookmark those links for the playlists, and that way you've got them whenever you need a scale or arpeggio. Handy. 4/4 time signature and quarter notes and half notes. We can handle this one hand at a time to make sure I understand the fingering and all. Here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Octave. Remember this F sharp's in the key signature. And then they want me to come down. But I'd rather not. When I first learn a piece of music, I like a fingering that works connected. And this business of going to here, I don't care for that. I mean, you can get away with it because of the articulation. You're going to move up in, you're going to lift up at the end of a phrase. I would prefer not. So I'm going to play, this is measure 9. Instead of 3rd finger, I'm going to go ahead and use thumb. It's there. And then crunch up and use 5th finger. And I'm back. This way I can connect it. So you do that some more. Now, measure 16, we're here. And then going on measure 17, they want 1 and 3, and here, I don't see the point. I'm using 2 on measure 16, so why not just do a 1 and 2 on measure 17? Stay there. Here, and then a 3, and a little finger on the F sharp, not a 4. This way I can do a 1-3 on the B here. And the reason I want a 1-3 here is to set up measure 21. Measure 21 is here, they want here. But I'm going to do that with 1-4, or 1-2, excuse me. I'm going to connect this. So I'm going to measure 20 when it's here, and then I just stay here, 4, here. I don't have to come in here, I'm more in this position. So again, starting at measure 16, you're here, and then going on, it's here, and then 1-3, 5, and then 1-3, and then coming down, it's 1-2, and I'm staying there. Here. Then I can lift up and come up. Now measure 31, you get the A, but measure 33, they want 3rd finger again. Now there's a couple ways we can do this, and you just pick one. I'll give you options. I don't want to go from here to here. Same finger. Just rule that out. No. So what do? Well, one option is for measure 33, I'd play 4th finger. It's there. Reach up. And I'm there. Okay. Another option is, once I play the A, I can put another finger on it, like thumb. Hold it down and put a substitute. Now I can use any finger I want on that one. So 3 is fine. So starting at measure 31, if I do a finger substitution, I'll do the finger substitution immediately. That way you're ready to go here. Or just stay there and use 4th finger on the B. I'll let you pick one. Going from measure 40 to 41. We've had this before. Here, it was lift up. No, just use thumb and 5th finger. Just scrunch up. It's like we had before. Left hand, what's it doing? Well, broken chords still. And if you want to use on 2nd major thumb, that's up to you. I'm going to use 2nd finger. I like to stay out here. Don't forget the F sharps in the key signature. Now, going from measure 8 to 9. You're here. I prefer not to if I can help it. So I want a different fingering. So, on measure 7, it's here. I can come down with thumb here, and now I'm ready. I think that's safer than doing this. And you need to be able to do this anyway. It's part of the arpeggios. It's in there. You got to be able to do this. You can turn a little bit, But if you just relax the thumb, it goes here. And then cross over. They have 5. You can use 4 if you'd rather, because here. Because just reach up, and then again, for measure 11, if I'm going to come up like that, I can use 2 on that D. I don't have to come all the way here. I can do the, and then here, going from measure 20 to 21. We get the same situation. I'd prefer not to. So I do what I did before. Here I can use thumb on the E, and now I'm ready to there. So measure 19 is 1 here on the E, and now I'm good to go. Measure 24 to 25. No, I just come down and use 4 if I want. And then I can reach it. However you want to do it. I could use a thumb on the last note on measure 23 here, and then 2, 4, 1. That's even easier. So let's go back to measure 22 on the quarter notes. Thumb here. And you're ready. Measure 31, the D is tied. So you're holding that down as you're doing that. Then lift up, just come up. We've had this before. Okay. On measure 41, you're here. And then just cross over the thumb and E flat, G flat. Here. And then come down again. Again. And then 1 and 2. Okay. So put the hands together. This should be interesting. Now, when I first put the hands together, I hesitate all over and everything's a mess, and that's okay. We're just trying to figure out which fingers are working at the same time. We're here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Go through the whole thing very carefully, and I get the hands together, and then I go back through the treble spots, which is usually all of it, and work out the hesitations. Keep it slow, but no hesitations anywhere. Steady beat, whatever it is. We speed it up later. Then when I have that, I think about the articulation. This is connected here. Lift up. Lift up. Between feel them. Even though the pedal's going to cover it up, you still lift up and you still feel the phrases, because it will affect your playing. So still do it. The left hand, I suggest you connect it. They have slurs. Connect it. If you can, connect it. You don't always lift up before and after slurs, my point. All the slur tells you is you connect a note within the slur. I'm suggesting on this, you connect. Now if you prefer, you want to try that, it's part of interpreting the music, you can try that. But at first, at least, I would suggest you connect it. For the dynamics, I mean, you can read the dynamics as well as I can. I give you an idea, and they just give you dynamics occasionally when they want to make sure this is what you're in. But in between the indications in the music, you can feel it. You just stay in that area. At the beginning, mezzo piano is sort of soft. Whatever you think sort of soft is. That's the melody, that's the right hand, so the left hand's got to stay in the background. And you don't get anything else then until measure 17 or 16 when you crescendo to go up. But you don't have to stay exactly mezzo piano for the first 3 lines or so. I mean, you can get a little louder and softer. You're just in that area. You have to get to know the piece well enough that you start getting into the music and feeling it. And then you do something with the dynamic. The left hand stays in the background, so when you get to measure 16, you're in the background, because this dies away on its own. So this, you want to get each one a little bit louder. You come up to about a mezzo piano, actually, here. Because doing this, crescendoing there, gives the illusion that gets louder. Even though it's going down, it's... And then mezzo forte is in the right hand. The left hand's got to go back, get back. Remember on measures 19 to 20, that's the melody, that's what we want to hear. This, you're going to have to gradually get softer here because we want to stay under this. Don't drown it out. And then go on. Again, on measures 23 and 24, we want to hear the beat. Don't drown it out. Now we're measure 25, we're loud. Left hand still in the background. About a moderately soft to moderately loud in there, so, you know. Come down a little bit. You do the dynamics. Now at the bottom, at the end, let's start with 43. Moderately soft here. Left hand soft. I want to hear that D. When I play that, I still want to hear the D. And soft. Here it's going to be both hands about the same. Both hands now, there's no melody, it's just a chord. But when you play this, I still want to hear this. Don't drown it out. That's sort of the dynamics. But again, you have to get comfortable with music. You feel this, you're getting involved emotionally, sort of. Speed, thoughtfully. Well, that's not a speed, that's sort of a mood. But again, sometimes they just give you the mood of the piece and you get to guess what the speed is depending on the mood. How fast you can be thoughtful is up to you, I guess. They give you metronome markings there to give you an idea. But again, it's a feel. Get into it. It's not a race, and it's not, don't drag it. Because then that does not work on piano very well. It just, because it's too percussive. The notes die away too much. If a person were singing this, they could get away with this because they could continue the sound and carry it on, but a piano, no. Don't go too slow, but be thoughtful. Now, finally, the pedal. Well, they've added pedal, and we could use pedal. We like overtones. One of the reasons we use pedal is to give longer held notes color. Because when you play a note on piano, it just dies away. But if you add the overtones, that stuff gives it color. So when we have longer held notes in piano, we like to give them color to do that. Here, it's fairly, you hear the notes long enough, we'd like to give them color. So we give them overtones. Now they're keeping the pedals simple for you, I'm sure, because this pedaling, however, to keep it simple, we'll keep it simple, I guess. They're changing with the harmony. Here, different chord, we're going to change it with the harmony. Each measure. Now they have a simile at the end of the first line, and simile means keep doing what you're doing. And what it applies to depends on where it is in the music. Here it's next to the pedal indication, so it's referring to that. It's telling you keep pedaling in this way. They're overlap or legato pedaling, and it's changing at every measure. That's all they're saying throughout the piece. Change it every measure until you get to the end when you hold it down for 2 measures. Again, you have to be critical with the thinking. If it starts to get too blurry, do something. At the beginning, it's the notes first, then the pedal. And I'm going to change the pedal after I play the note. If it's too blurry for you, change it. Look at the bottom of page 8. It's the last 2 measures. You have whole notes. So I'm going to change it. Maybe I'll pedal every 2 beats. That helps to clear it out. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's sort of loud here anyway, but it's up to you on how. I mean, you don't really need to pedal it at all. Here, I mean, you could lift the pedal up for that part, as far as I'm concerned. But it's really ultimately up to you, or if you have a teacher, they'll tell you. But listen to the sound and the effect the pedal is having, and you make it yours. The sound that you're after. I tend to want to slow down a little bit at the end, but you have to be careful about that because we're getting half notes and whole notes. If you slow down there, it makes them drag. So be careful. The retardando is sort of built in for us in that the value of the notes get longer, and that gives the impression of a retardando. Let's play this together very slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. I'll give us 4 counts. Now, I probably should do this without pedal because you can hear the notes better. But I'm going to go ahead and do the pedal as I think it should be done, not necessarily how it's marked, to give you an idea of that too if you want. I'm not going to do any dynamics. We're not performing it. We're just doing notes and rhythms and the pedaling pretty much. So I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go. 4. 4. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, off.